Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I am ready to drop on you my updated Wolcen Lords of Mayhem only summons build guide for 1150. Of course we will go over gameplay, skills, Gates of Fate's attributes, and of course break down the gear. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now, right now, I am at the war table. We are going to go headhunt, and we're going to add area modifiers. We'll take every modifier that's for the champion, which is the boss we are going to be fighting. So we will take champion, 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 champion. Okay, 5 champion modifiers. This is really difficult on a 217, the hardest level in the game. We are going to accept that and we are going to start this operation. So let's see, not being smart, 5 boss champion modifiers with 217. All right, life is going down. Likely I will die. Let's see. Half-life. Quarter life. Get him. And that boss is down. Give me that. It's a lot of damage from this build. So now let's actually go through a full run. And again, I want to select the hardest content in the game, and we are going to do an Untainted run on 217. So we're going to click on Wrath. We are going to take modifiers, and I'm going to take Specialist. I'm going to take Specialist. I'm going to take Underlings, Enemies, and Specialists. Okay, 5 modifiers. 217, hardest run. Let's accept this and start the operation. Now, as you can see, the skills I'm going to be using for this are literally only Livor Mortis and Hunting Swarm, and they are duplicated both twice. Now, normally as I play this, I would literally just start running and never stop running. But for a little bit, I'm going to kind of just slow and take it pack by pack. Whenever your damage seems to be down, it could be your summons are shooting into a wall or they are dead. So when that happens, just retreat a little bit, find a corner, and they will all come back to you. And as you can see, as long as you have them targeting the same enemy, that enemy, including champions and specialists, will die fast. I challenge you. Right, we are being challenged. Where are you? Didn't pop up yet.
Behold,
where?
potential.
There he is. Get him. Untainted 217, 5 modifiers. And down. Okay. So now that you've seen me for a few minutes kind of kill every enemy as we path down, now I'm going to play how I normally play this build. Ready? And we're off. I'm only going to stop if I actually notice an Untainted following me. And as you can see, even though I'm not stopping to kill enemies, our hunt bar on the right is still going up. Let's see. Gonna pop up Untainted. And just to be clear, you will die with this build. Every once in a while, you'll get one shot because your summons will be down. There he is. And they absorb damage for you. There is times you will die, but not super often. And down. And we're moving. So we are ready to challenge the boss, and unfortunately I ran the wrong way. Now we will head down. Again, hardest run in the game. and we are just cutting through these enemies. Now, a couple updates back, it was nice. They changed it where the roll mechanic, you can roll through enemies. So it's really easy to path through. Hope we're going the right way. I think so. And the summons will just continue to pop up next to you. Also, with this update, they made it a lot easier to level. So the last time I made this build guide, we were level 80. Now we're level 88. Moving. Now, normally, if you can actually find the boss fairly quick, you can do these Untainted runs. The last 2 times I did it, I was able to complete it in under 4 minutes. We have made it. Go. This build as well does more damage to single target if there's no other enemies around either. So if you can ever get the boss just by itself, I mean, it will just evaporate. Just like that. Done. Did we get S+? We got S+. Playtime, 3 minutes and 46 seconds. That is the 3rd time in a row I was able to do the hardest content in the game in less than 4 minutes. Now I'm going to show you how to recreate this build, and we are going to start with skills. And again, skills are very easy because it's 2 skills, and both of those skills are duplicated 2 times. So you have 3 of each. Livor Mortis. As you can see, all of them are maxed at level 90, been duplicated twice. And the way you want to run this is damage. So 20% damage, 10% attack speed, 20% damage. Right here, so under grief, what this is going to do is absorb 15% of your damage. So 3 Livor Mortises are going to absorb 45% damage. So if you find yourself one shot, it's probably because your Livor Mortis is dead and you're not getting that damage absorption. Okay, but this is what keeps you alive. Then another 20% into damage and another 10% into attack speed. And again, this is the same on all 3. You also want to take them in the red form or liquid smooth because it is focused on material damage. All right. Moving over to Hunting Swarm, just like Livor Mortis, all level 90, and they are all 3 the same. You want to take them as the toxic damage type, which is green because we are focused on material damage. Now on here, increase damage, shoot an extra 2 projectiles. Number of summons +1, increased damage dealt by archers, but reduces their health. This is going to give them 50% increased damage, and you don't care about health because they auto summon. Increase damage and increase attack speed. That is the skills. Moving over to the Gates of Fate. Now, the first thing I want to explain is how to align your wheels, okay? And by the way, I'll give you a second if you want to screenshot this. All right, I'm not going to highlight anything. Feel free to screenshot it, take a picture, do what you got to do right now. Okay, good, great, grand, lovely, amazing. Aligning your wheels. All right, so I'm just going to go from the middle and work our way out. You want Scholar and Sentinel, like kind of, you know, top, left, and right. Then when you go 1 wheel out, you want Assassin to the left, and you want Ranger to the right. When you go another wheel out, you want Exorcist, and you want Eos. All right, so that is how you align your wheel. Once you have your wheel aligned, you want to follow this path. Are you ready? Okay. You want to go this way through Sentinel. This is giving you projectile damage, which is the main kind of source of damage for this build. Projectile. Okay, projectile. Then you want to come up. Don't forget to get all these little ones. Projectile damage. Come up, attack speed. A couple of them, force shield, but you actually need force shield for this build. And then for here, I'm not going to go over every single one. This is all of your summons. Okay, this is all of your summons and your summons damage. Now, you will notice right here under Plaguebringer, I don't have the last little blip node filled in. A lot of people do, I don't. This is going to reduce your life by 15%, but your summons will practically not die. I don't like taking that. 15% is too much, but if you find yourself where your summons are always dead, and as you can see through the run that I just did, my summons weren't dead, you can take this box, okay? A couple things that we added though, I did put out of the 8 points, 2 into summons health. So I took an extra 10% here and a 10% here. That is new for this build, okay? Then you want to come down and you want to go into Eos and you want to come up this way. It's going to give you some added damage and it is going to give you Beacon of the Lost. Now I get questions about this literally all the time because it's giving you sacred damage. It is not giving you material damage. Now you have to understand your summons will use all damage that you generate towards themselves. So in here, you're only investing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to give you a large boost to your sacred damage, which even though you are not focused in it, it is still going to apply to your minions and all those other multipliers to do a lot of damage for a very small cost. And that is why you are required to have a little bit of force shield on this build. When your force shield is above 50%, you gain 25% sacred spell damage. When your force shield is below 50%, you gain 25% sacred attack damage. And again, you're just running around. It's going to be really easy for you to keep your 50% force shield up to give you additional spell damage. Okay. Then I am going to go left. Come back to the center, so you've taken care of the right. Now you're going to come back to the center and go left, and you're going to get your little spell damage nodes. You are going to come up through Assassin to give you all your poison damage, and on here, 50% of damage is converted to toxic, which is great. You come up here, grants temporary movement speed bonus after using a dodge attack. You're running the whole time, so you want to be faster. That is how I was able to get the boss so quick. Coming up here, I actually took this. This is the last point that I have put into my passive tree. This was the 88th point, okay? 20% damage when only one enemy is within 7-meter radius, okay? If you're hiding in the corner and all your summons are attacking that singular boss, you are going to do 20% more damage. And I did notice a big jump when I took this point. Okay, then you're going to come down and enter into Exorcist. And this is your projectile damage and material damage. Okay, so you want to take these points into Exorcist. All right, now you've got the right and you've got the left, but you're not going to go back to the middle. You are going to cut across here from Sentinel because you're going to get attack speed and resistances. You're going to spend less points as well. And you're going to come up through Warmonger. And here, increase your physical toxic damage, but you can't inflict other types, okay? This is going to give you a big boost to material damage. People always say, oh, Warmonger doesn't work because over here you took sacred damage. It still gives you a big boost to your minions. I don't know if it's a bug or what, but it still totally works, okay? And you want to come here, take health, take damage, come up, and then you end in White Arrow, which again is going to give you more damage to projectile. And when I'm breaking down the gear, I will tell you what type of affixes you want to look for. You take White Arrow, you can still see this. Over here, increase projectile damage based on remaining pierce effect. All right. Then you come up and you take Acute Tracking, stay in combat and avoid enemies hitting. You gain cold-blooded, and this is going to give you a boost to spell damage. Basically, it's going to give you a boost to damage based upon cold-blooded, not cold damage, sorry. Just a 5% per cold-blooded point. Overall damage. All right. Those are the passives. I mean, I guess if you wanted to do your own thing, okay, you can kill off Eos. All right. You can save 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could save 7 points to put where you saw fit, and you would not have to take any force shield in your gear if you wanted to go a different route. But as you can see from my gameplay, I recommend you copying this. That is the Gates of Fate. Moving over to attributes, this could not be easier. Put every point you have into toughness. Every single point. You don't need any of the others. 984 points into toughness. Moving over to everyone's favorite, gear. Now, there are no uniques that are required for this build. You could just use all rares that have good rolls on them. But if you want to be able to push true endgame content, the uniques are going to make it much easier. Now, the 3 uniques that I'm using for this build are March, because it gives material damage multiplier and really good resistances in life. Thirst, spell skill damage multiplier. But what sucks about Thirst is you're going to take a hit to your life, 25%. So if you had a great rolled amulet, you don't have to take Thirst. This one is the least important, but it does give you a huge boost to your summon's damage. And then we have James's Tall Tale. This gives a 15% projectile damage multiplier. Again, I don't want to say it's required, but again, it gives you a huge boost to your damage for your summons. But it's not required, okay? I'm going to go through each other item one by one. Here we go. Shoulders, health, little bit of force shield. Shoulders, health, resistances. And you'll notice on my shoulders, both of them give to material damage, okay? You want to focus on material damage. Gloves, health, resistance, damage. Other glove, health, resistance, damage. Armor, health, my force shield that I want, material damage. This has 2,700 life on it. Belt, spell, life. It's actually 3 spells, right? Because the implicit is spell as well. Pants, material damage, resistance. Ring, spell. And you can actually get more damage out of your ring, but this one rolled with 1,500 health, so I left it on. Ring, spell, toxic damage. Catalyst. On here, spell, 45% increased spell damage. We already looked at pants, and then weapon. I finally found a better weapon, and it's not a huge difference, but you need to find a one-handed dagger that has triple damage on it. Oh, I can't move it off. So you see at the bottom there, it's physical, fire, and sacred. Obviously, it's great to get material damage, but it really doesn't matter. You want a dagger that has 3 base damages on it, okay? 330, 340 is pretty much the most I've ever seen, okay? So that's my gear. Now, what do you want to focus on? Okay, you want as much flat damage as possible. As much flat damage as possible. And to be clear, your weapon damage is always on attacks. You can't like get spell damage on your weapon. So that don't worry about the weapon. You just need the weapon to say increase damage on attacks on weapon 3 times. But for example, rings, you'll see here, flat damage to spells. You'll see on the belt, flat damage to spells. Ring, flat damage to spells. You want as much flat damage as you can possibly get. I think that's all it really rolls on. So, oh, and on your catalyst. So catalyst, rings, belt, weapon, as much flat damage as you can possibly find. Once you are done with flat damage, then you want to move over to any spell damage, overall damage, or material damage. So you'll see the catalyst says spell damage on it. Okay. You will see that the armor has material damage on it. So anything spell material. All right. Once you're done with that, everything else go with life. That's all you need. And then obviously every gem you use is green, because green is going to give you toxic, and then in your pants and armor, put in life. All right. Flat damage, overall damage, spell damage, material damage. That is what you want to find on this build. Okay, I get that question all the time, because Wolcen does not do a good job of explaining what actually transfers to what. And if you have them, I accidentally sold a bunch of them. But these Genesis stones, put 3 of them in your weapon. It might cost you upwards of 500,000 gold. That's what it cost me on this dagger to roll it with 3. Is it offensive 2s? Yeah, you want offensive 2, and you want 3 of them on your dagger. And it'll be spell, 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 15%, which will give you another 45. All right. That is the gear. Last but not least, let's break down the character sheet. And what I'm going to do is just slowly scroll through this. Just in case you have some problems, you can compare what my numbers are compared to yours. Okay. We're going to go through it, and I'm just going to see you got the combat. You have survivability. 53,000 life on this character. Okay. Resistances. Resistances are not very good. Resources. Utility. Ailments. Okay. And then also take a look at the tooltips for my summons. So you'll see at the bottom, what really matters is summons average damage. Livor Mortis is basically 131,000. 131,000. And Hunting Swarm, 103,000. And these numbers do move up and down a lot when you are in combat. Like if we had acute tracking and this was full, you would see these numbers be a lot higher. But again, just give you an idea based upon when you are building your character where your damage numbers should be. As long as you're over 6 figures, so you're over 100,000 on each, you will be able to clear all content in the game. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my updated only summons for Wolcen Lords of Mayhem 1150? Did I miss something? Is there something I can do to push this to the next level? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure you've heard by now that I've officially started a Twitch, streaming on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, having so much fun with the ARPG community. I also streamed this build, so if you have any questions, if you want to get to know me or the community, first link in the description if you'd like to go there and support me on Twitch. If you haven't had a chance to join the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,400 members. Great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this updated build guide for Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.